the turnaround in private practice, and what it is to be a physician leader. That's what we're going to talk about today. I am Dr. Po Raval, 36 years in private practice. This is Doc Dynasty, empowering physicians in practice and beyond. So today, let's talk about the 3 steps that make you a physician leader and help you turn around either a practice that you've bought or a practice that you're in that's flailing. So this has been a well-studied topic, but I'm going to relate it back to private practice or you as a practitioner, even within a group practice. So number 1, what makes a leader a leader? You have to change. If you want to be more successful, number 1, you have to change the culture. How do you change the culture? You change the culture by introducing values that become important to you and important to the patient. Example, in my office, I decided the one thing all my patients were complaining about is how long they sit at doctor's offices. So when I started my private practice, I also hate waiting in a doctor's office. I decided that every phone call was going to be answered quickly, and we were going to get patients in as quickly as possible, even if I, on our side, had to juggle a schedule, meaning we could put an existing patient in while a new patient was seeing paperwork. And that's what we chose to do because that's what patients wanted to see. When they come in on their appointment is their appointment. Their time is as valuable as my time. So if they make a 9:15 appointment, they're in at 9:15. I see them no later than 9:30. So 9:15 to 9:30 and they're out. I noticed that when people review our practice, I followed through and saw that the first thing they compliment is how they got in on time, they were out on time, their time was valued. So that became part of our value in our culture. Whatever becomes important to you, take a look at your practice and see where you can improve and install a value that you then collaborate with your entire staff and make it happen. Number 2, you have to be accountable to those values. So if you say, for example, you're going to be in your office from 9 to 4 every day, then you better be there at 8:45 and not leave till 4:15, right? So I see so many practices, they have a 2-hour break, they run out, they close the office, they say we're out to lunch. This is not a retail practice. This is, if you want to practice medicine on a higher level, you need to be open. Either your staff has to keep it open or you need to keep it open. That's just one example, but you have to be accountable and keep your staff accountable. And number 3, you want to produce something that has a process, a structure, and is repeatable. This is how you're going to be able to see more patients, which also make you successful. So, for example, something that I have in my professional TikTok page, which is called Archmaker, if any of you want to take a look at it. It's what I collaborate with patients and I collaborate with you. So one of the processes I have, I'm a podiatrist, plantar fasciitis is 1 in every 5 patients. I decided that this is the thing I'm going to do better than anybody else. So when someone comes in with that diagnosis, I have a process of 5 steps to delineate where plantar fasciitis is coming from, and I have 4 steps to get that better. Over time, as I've tried out different patients, different diagnoses, different points of pain for plantar fasciitis, I came out with a system that I can duplicate every time. I can get a patient in and out every 15 minutes. That makes their time worth it. It makes my time worth it. I'm not making up things as I go along. I'm not guessing what they have. So you too, depending on your specialty, can do the exact same thing. There are going to be things that you see more than anything else that you become experts at. And that thing has to have a process that's duplicatable so you can see more patients. So let's take an everyday example. Because it's football season and I married an anesthesiologist who was who was a football player and all-position All-American. So, Kansas City Chiefs, perfect turnaround. 12 years ago, they were not what they are today. When the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, Clark Hunt, came in, he decided he was going to change this culture. He then hired Andy Reid as the coach. And their process was very similar to this leadership process. He changed the culture. He talked to his players. He saw what they needed. He talked to the staff, made it happen. And you see where that they are today. 12 years ago, they were not here. And you guys can check those facts. What he did was the steps of a leader, and you can look at what he did along the way to make that happen among his players, among his staff, and along with his coach. Patrick Mahomes brought it to a whole different level because of his skill set, but that leadership, those values, that culture, that systematic approach that was repeatable is what made the Kansas City Chiefs what they are today. So make your practice the same thing. Dedicate that time to change, turn around what your practice is to make it more profitable, to make patients happier, to have a system in place where you can see more patients. And this is whether you buy a practice or you are trying to increase the value of your own practice. Hope this is helpful. Of course, if you want to build your dynasty, subscribe, and happy to hear your opinions. Always open.